Welcome back, friends. Video number 26, we were looking into the effect of reducing electricity on our cost reduction effort. As we discussed, electricity is a quick winner. It gives immediate results and it gives you a positive feedback on your effort. So it's called a quick winner, and energy is governed by three factors only. What is the rating of the machine you are using, how many hours you're going to use it, and what time you are using it, and the number of pieces involved in it. So these three factors, if you can minimize them, you can reduce them, automatically you will get your electricity lower. Today, with so much of advances in technology, you will find very high energy efficient equipments coming into the market. Even fridge or air conditioners and all have become more energy efficient. So if you are using an old fridge or an AC, if affordable, switch over to a latest model, efficient, high energy efficient model, so that you save much on the electricity. Also, in illumination, you find that the normal CFL lamps and HID lamps are getting replaced by the LED lamps, which gives more output per watt consumed. Compared to the HID, your LED gives 4 times more output. Similarly, compared to the CFL also, it is double. Even our own tube lights, which were consuming 40 watts to give a certain lux level, if it is an LED technology, automatically you can get it done with 18 watts. So, if possible, if you can afford that kind of a change, go for a highly efficient models. Today, the market is full of such equipments. Now, today we will see some more ways to reduce energy cost. First one is for a showroom. A common mistakes done by showroom while doing illumination as well as air conditioning is that the air conditioning is done for the product. You will find that all the ducts are behind the AC ducts are kept behind the shelves carrying the rows of material. Now you don't have to cool the product, you have to cool the person who are coming there. So just make sure that your air conditioning caters to the manpower, not the material lying there. The sari doesn't know whether it is giving kept at 15 degrees centigrade or 30 degrees or 35 degrees. But the man will feel the difference. So always air condition your, like this. Sorry, I'm talking about a different one. Air conditioning should be for the people, not for the material. You see the AC is kept on the wall here, and this output from this AC is cooling the material more. Whereas here in this picture, you will see that the air conditioning is not cooling the material, it is cooling the people in the foyer or in this the customers. So always cool your customers and not your product. Another way is the illumination. Now, if you see in this hall, you are illuminating the product, but at the same time, you are also illuminating the customer. Why this much of lux level in this showroom area? When you have such a high lux level here, what happens? The customer is also feeling hot. The customer feels irritated. And again, the cooling, whatever cooling you do, it will not be sufficient to keep the temperature down. So illuminate your product. Whereas you see in this picture, they are illuminating the product. They're not illuminating the customer. You see that the visibility is more in the showcase area than in the public area. People should see your material in good light. It doesn't mean that they should be seen in good light inside the shop. Of course, everybody comes to the shop to buy something, but they want to see the product clearly. So illuminate the product. Don't illuminate the people coming to buy the product. In this way, One is your visibility of the product is improved. Second one is the temperature of the hall is low. You don't have to cool this area more because you don't need more powerful AC. Yeah, normal AC would do. Similarly for the cooling customers also. Cool customers, not product. Illuminate product and not customers. Use daylight wherever possible. A lot of places you will find that there is no daylight being put to good use. Utilize daylight so that you will save a lot on power. Many of the factory buildings, they got what they call the transparent sheets at the top, the skylights. But unfortunately, those skylights will be totally covered with the sand and dust and leaves, that there will be hardly any light flowing through that skylight. And you will be using 400 watts HID lamps to illuminate your surface area. Instead, get all your skylights cleaned once in 6 months using a team. And if you start doing it regularly, then it will be pretty visible, pretty clean it will be. Use a nice a set of people to clean the skylights so that you have sunlight coming in. Also, to get your services done, you can use skylights more than the artificial lights. Even keeping the sides also, if you are a east facing organization, keep your front panel transparent so that you will have good sunlight coming in. See to it that sunlight and natural air comes in as much as possible. It's a fad to keep out sunlight, and it's not good to keep out fresh air also. So always try to keep the area illuminated by sunlight. That is why in our kitchens are always facing east, because the morning lights is there. So it's better to have the sunlight directly on the kitchen. So it is always a practice or a tradition to have our kitchens on the eastern side of the house. Next area where power is consumed but unknown to us is the usage of fan regulators. These kind of resistor-based regulators, they consume a lot of power, which is actually a waste of energy. Instead, use electronic regulators, which can give you good speed control as well as consume less power. These regulators consume anything around 15 watts per hour, whereas these ones consume about 2 to 3 watts. Also, while using your fan at very high speed, your power consumption is maximum. So use your fans wisely. Set the speed only as you require. Next one is star rated equipments. You'll find here that this has got star rating, 5-star rating, whereas there is no star rating on this. Though this may look good, go for the star rated equipments. It will save you a lot of energy. Now I would like to show you a demonstration of how energy of a utility can be reduced and brought down by about 80%. This is an actual study done about 6 years back for a leading city corporation. Okay. The problem with that city was that they were consuming a lot of energy, and most of their energy was being used for illuminating the streets. They have about 10,000 light fittings, and they were using HID lamps. Okay. The annual power, they were using 250 watts HID lamps to illuminate these 10,000 light fittings. The lux level specified by the utility was 30 lux. 100 luminaires were wired to one feeder pillar, and totally there were 100 feeder pillars in the city. How they were switching it on? An operator was traveling on a motorcycle to switch on or switch off the 20 feeder pillars daily on a first on, first off basis. So let's say if it is area X, the requirement is that all the city should be illuminated from 6:30 p.m. to 6:30 a.m. The whole entire city has to be illuminated from 6:30 p.m. to 6:30 a.m. 12 hours is mandatory. So to achieve that 12 hours, they used to go around, because the last luminaire has to be switched on by 6:30 p.m. and it takes about 2 hours for one round of switching on all the fittings, even in spite of having 9 staff. So what they do is they switch on the first feeder pillar by 4:30. So from 4:30, then gets on switched on 4:30. One is getting switched on, the other one is getting switched on by 4:45, 5, 5:30. So by 6 o'clock, he finishes one round. Same way, the operator goes in the morning also and finishes one round. So the setup time or the switch down time is about 2 hours. And on an average, each fitting is running around 14 hours instead of the mandated 12 hours. You see, just because the setup time is 2 hours, it is getting operated for 14 hours, whereas your requirement is only 12 hours. The tariff is 10 rupees per unit. So this is the existing conditions of the city lighting. So now what are the methods you have to reduce this power consumption? First one is, you saw that the first unwanted activity or wasted activity is that your luminaire is running for 14 hours, whereas it is supposed to run for 12 hours. Why it is running 14 hours? Because of this switch on, switch off time. So on the first thing, what you can do in line with our constrained illumination classes or that philosophy, we see to it that this luminaire is lighted not for 14 hours, but reduce it to, if possible, 13 hours. So you increase the number of operators to 13 so that the average time reduces to 13 hours. Now, what happens is that when you increase the number of operators, the number of feeder pillar each operator switches on or off is reduced. From the present 10, it comes down to 7. And they can do that in about 1 hour's time. So what happens that the light fitting is running for only about 13 hours and not 14 hours. The second thing what you can do is go for slightly expensive change. You can change the switching mode from a manual based to a timer based. In change one, it was still manual mode, but you increase the number of people. The second one was you eliminated people and you make it to a timer based feeder pillar to achieve the 12 hours. So which means that by now you have saved 2 hours from the actual 14. Third one is that instead of using a timer, you can go for a photocell. And the photocell will trigger the switching on or switching off only when the lighting level is below 30 lux or above 30 lux. When the lighting level goes below 30 lux, automatically it will switch on the lights. Same way, when the lighting level goes above 30 lux in the daytime, in the morning around 6:30, it will switch off all the lights. So in this way, the average hours of operation can be reduced. So from 14, by just increasing the number of people, you could get to 13. By switching to a less expensive change, which is a timer-based switching operation, you achieve exactly 12 hours. You can switch on the timer, you can set the timer for 6:30 in the evening or 6:30 in the morning. And third one is to go for a slightly expensive solution, which is using a photocell. In this way, you can expect the consumption to reduce to 11 hours or maybe even 10 hours during summer, and maybe during winter it can go to 12 and a half, 13 hours, depending on the requirement. Fourth method, which is slightly more expensive, is to switch over to a dual wattage ballast. What does this mean? If a 250 watts HID lamp is operating at throughout the night, it is consuming 250 watts per hour. Instead, you can use a 250 watts ballast and a 150 watt ballast, so that in the night time, when the requirement is less, when the people are not much on the street, it can work as a 150 watts lamp. This is a common practice in the West. Peak hours will have one level of lighting, and non-peak hours will have a different level of lighting. To achieve this, you got something called a dual wattage ballast. That is, the same choke will be of two different rating. One will be suitable for a 250 watts, and the other will be suitable for a 150 watt lamp. And at the prescribed time, it will switch over from a 250 to a 150 watts. Next one is slightly more expensive. This is the step 4 in our constrained illumination study, changing light source to CFL or LED. LED, instead of 250 watts, you can achieve the same lighting level using a 60 watts LED lamp bulb. So you change the lighting source from HID to a LED source. Of course, this is quite expensive. Now let us see how it works out. So the present condition, it is operating hours is 14 per day, units consumed is 35,000, units per year works out to 1 crore 27 lakh units. So at 10 rupees, it works out to 12 crore rupees is the 12 crore 77 lakhs 50,000 is the meter charges or energy cost for the utility, only for lighting level. Step 1, we had the option of increasing people so that 1 hour can be reduced. So average operating hours reduces to 13, and so your cost goes down by 10%. So from 127, it goes down to 118. So there's a 10% reduction in the consumption. Not the 10%, it is slightly low, it's about 8%, because from 14 hours, we have reduced to 13 hours. So about 7% is the reduction. The second step is slightly expensive. You have a capital intensive, you have two options, either go for a timer or a photocell. If you go for timer, you have a 12-hour rating. If you go for a photocell, you achieve a 11 hours consumption. So this gives you a power consumption reduced to either 30,000 or 27,500 per day. So making it 1 crore unit, 1 crore 9 lakhs units, or 1 crore unit. Okay. So the capital expenditure at 4,000 rupees per timer or 5,000 rupees per photocell, you can recover your investment in 8 days or 6.6 days. Now, the fourth level is going for a dual wattage ballast, in which case your consumption comes down to 21,000 units per day. Or per year, it works out to 76 lakhs. See, from 1.27 crores, we have come to 76,000, which is a change of about 40% is a reduction achieved. So from 1,27,000 crores, it is now 76,000 crores. Sixth change you have, now you made this change here, you decided to go for a photocell. Then now you decide to change the light fitting, the source of light. So instead of HID, now you go for a LED lamp. If you go for LED, you see that the power requirement is only 6,600 units per day or 24 lakh units per annum. So from 1,27,000, you come down to 24 lakhs 9,000 units per year, or 2.4 crores is the tariff, the amount you have to pay for the electricity. The energy cost works out to 2.4 crores. So from a 12.77 crores, you bring down the energy bill to 2.4 crores, which gives you a saving of 10.36 crores. Of course, it is slightly expensive to change all the 10,000 fittings using an LED. It will cost you around 10 crores. So you will get, it will take 1 year for you to recover this amount. So I've given you what is the rate of return. You will find 8 days for the first case, 6.6, 142, 250, and 352 days. So if you change to a LED light and use a photocell, your return of investment is going to be something around 1 year's time. In 1 year time, you will recover both the cost, both for the photocell as well as for the LED. Now here you made two changes. One is you switched over from a manual switching mode to a photocell switching based switching mode, which gives you a 3 hours saving. Operation is reduced by 3 hours from the existing 14 to 11 hours. And next one is you decide to change the source from HID to LED, which gives you, these two together gives you a 80% saving. So, is not a magic or a gimmick. It's easily achievable. If you are still using HID lamps, switch over to LED lamps. And if you are still using a manual based switching on and off mode, switch over to a photocell based mode so that it operates only when required. And that decision to operate is not from the people, it is from the system itself. Because the photocell, if you are setting it for 30 lux, it will switch on when the lux level goes below 30 and switch off when the lux level by nature goes above 30. So this utility, from spending 12 crore rupees, 12 crore 77 lakh rupees per annum for just illuminating the streets, they can do the same function, illuminate the streets better at a cost of 2.41 lakhs, sorry, 2.41 crores, a saving of over 80%. Implementing this will not cost you much because you can recover your money in 1 year's time. Okay, so with that, we come to end of the energy savings classes. Energy, it can be said you only just need an initiative to go check why it is used, whether it can be reduced. Just ask these two questions: why is it used, and can it be reduced? If it can be reduced, then go for that alternative. You have so many new technologies and so many methods to reduce the power. Do a need audit first. Do a need audit, and then you will find that that may be not required only. Imagine the city is getting illuminated at 4:30 in the evening when there is good bright sunlight. When there is enough sunlight, why do you want to switch on the artificial lights? Okay. So this is how we propose this to a municipality or to a corporation, and not sure whether they have implemented or not. Of course, they have moved over from the manual switching to the photocell based switching. And they have also started using LED lights instead of the normal tube lights. Thank you. And with this, we close this chapter, and we'll see the next video with another topic.